Hey friends, it's Melanie. Welcome back to my kitchen and welcome to another What's for Dinner. This week I'm going to share with you 3 meals we had at my house. I hope you'll enjoy them. I hope you'll sit back and relax, get some new dinner inspiration for your next week. The first meal I'm going to be making is called Marry Me Chicken. The first thing you need to do is season up your chicken, and then you're going to cook it about 5 minutes on each side, and I just season mine with some salt and pepper. You also want to have your oven preheating at 375 degrees. This is the first time I've ever made this recipe. I'd had it pinned for quite a while, been meaning to try it, and I was not disappointed. This was a very easy dish, and it looks like something that has taken a lot longer and a lot more effort than what it actually is. But like I said, I browned each side of my chicken breast for about 5 minutes, salt and peppered each side. Then you're just going to remove them from your pan. Going to add in your garlic, and I've just used about a spoonful here of some chopped garlic, and I've got a little bit of my grease left there in the oil that I was frying my chicken in. Cook it just a minute and then add in your chicken broth and just keep that stirring. Get up all those bits of goodness from the bottom of your pan, and then you're going to add in your heavy whipping cream, and you are just going to cook this for about 10 minutes or so. Just let it get kind of thickened up a little bit. And then you're going to add in your tomatoes, the sun-dried tomatoes, and I didn't chop mine up any more than what they were chopped up in the jar, but if you want smaller pieces, you want to do that. And I used Italian seasoning. I didn't have thyme. That's what the recipe called for, but this Italian seasoning worked out just fine for me. And I used very few of the red pepper flakes because I do not like spicy dishes. I like to have flavor, but I do not like my mouth to be on fire. And then you're going to add in your Parmesan cheese, and you're just going to turn off the heat and stir all that together and let it kind of melt down and meld, and it should get a little bit thicker on you. Now, once you get that the way you want it, you're just going to put your chicken breast back into that yummy little sauce you've made, and I just kind of turned mine over a little bit to get them both sides a little coated, and then you're just going to spoon that gravy and those sun-dried tomatoes back up over the top of your chicken breast. And then you're going to put them in that 375 degree oven for about 15 minutes. And I did use an oven safe skillet, and I did check my temperature and make sure that it came to 165 degrees. Once I pulled that out of the oven, you're going to sprinkle some more Parmesan cheese on it and then stick it back in the oven just another 5 minutes or so, just long enough to melt that cheese down. When you pull it out, then it plates up so pretty. I had some mashed potatoes, and the gravy was so good over that. I had this corn salad that I had made earlier. I'll leave you a link to the video where I made the corn salad and some green beans. The next thing you're going to see me chopping up is some chicken. A while back, I had just cooked up a big batch of chicken breast in my crock pot, and I used some for a chicken pot pie braid. I'll leave you the video for that below. And then I froze the rest of the chicken that I made to use later. So I pulled it out this week, and I'm going to make some barbecue chicken pizzas here. And then I still had enough chicken left over to make some chicken salad. So we're using the naan bread for the crust, and I do pre-bake mine about 425 degrees for about 4 or 5 minutes. I pulled them out and I put barbecue sauce on 2 of them and then just a marinara sauce on 1. Covered them all with mozzarella cheese, topped pepperonis on the one that has the marinara, and then I put the one that has the barbecue sauce. On mine, I did put some red onions because I love red onions, but that's pretty much all that everybody else wanted on their pizzas. Then you're just going to pop them in that 425-degree oven again for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Just kind of watch them, pull them back out, and they're just beautiful. See me cutting up my daughter's here. Got some good cheese stretch going on with it. And this was very good and delicious. The one thing I will say, I did come back in and put some more barbecue sauce on top of mine. I didn't coat my chicken in the barbecue sauce before I put it in, and I think that would have been better because I did need just a little bit more sauce, I felt like, on my pizza. But I just served it up with some raw veggies, cucumbers and broccoli. I love to eat that raw just with any meal. And these were just all really good. I tried a bite of my daughter's pepperoni and it was really good too. But there's my husband's, and then there's mine with that pretty red onion. This was the first time I had ever used the naan bread. I know that's been around forever, but I really enjoyed these pizzas, and this was so fast. You can see here I've got King's Hawaiian bread, I've got some deli meat, some chopped dried onions, some cheese. I'm making sliders. Now I know everybody has their own way of making sliders. Back before these King's Hawaiian bread rolls were even a deal, my mom made these little ham and cheese party sandwiches for us, and we loved them. She always made them in this little thin rolls that come in a little tin tray in the bread department. They're getting hard to find. But anyway, I'm just going to make them for you the way my mom taught us and the way that we love them. So of course you're going to slice the top of those rolls off and lay that to the side. And I always buy my deli ham very thin. I even tell them to shave it. And I had gotten like a pound here of just some honey baked ham, I think it was. And I get mine very thin. We like the texture of that. I hate it when you bite into a slider and all the meat comes off in one bite. That's real irritating to me. So I like to get it shaved, and then you can just pile it on as thick or as thin as you want, but it's already kind of falling apart and coming apart, and I think it heats up and just cooks up so good in these little rolls. So once you get enough ham on there to your liking and you make sure you have all of the rolls covered, you're just going to come in with your shredded cheese. I was using cheddar. That's what I had plenty of this week. And make sure you get all your rolls covered in that, and then you place the top of your buns back on. This was a real busy week, and these were 3 meals that were so quick and so easy. Now the way we do our sauce is just a stick of butter. You get it all melted down into boiling up. Then you just squirt some plain old yellow mustard in it. And that mustard, when you boil it, it'll kind of cook apart and separate, and it'll lay on top of those little buns, and it makes it so good. So you just take that melted butter and mustard and pour it over. I don't use any Worcestershire or any of those other things that's in a lot of the recipes. Just mustard and melted butter. Soak those rolls good, because these are the big, thick Hawaiian ones, so you want to be sure it gets through. And you might be saying, well, that looks like a lot, is the bottom of your rolls look like they're sitting in butter, and you're exactly right. They are sitting in butter, and it's delicious. So I just take these chopped dried onions and put them over the top. If I have poppy seeds, I love to put poppy seeds on mine. I think it makes it look pretty, and it just gives it a little extra flavor. Always cover them in foil so they don't burn, and I put them in about a 375, 400 degree oven. I start out at like 15 minutes, and then I'll start checking them to see if they're done. And really all you have to do is melt the cheese. So mine are coming out, and the troops around here, they were hungry this night. I wanted to put them in a little bit longer. The cheese was melted, but I felt like it could have went a little bit more. But these people were hungry and they were ready to eat. So that's what we did. I just cut into them and plated them up for everybody. I do hope you've enjoyed this week's meals of What's for Dinner. If you like simple, southern, quick, and easy meals, I hope that you consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I do these every week. I've got some special little things I'm working on for summer. I know it's hard to think of things to cook every week. We need things that will, especially in the summer, help us get in and out of that kitchen in a hurry, but we still want our food to taste delicious and nourish us body and soul. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and you don't want to miss next week's What's for Dinner, special time, 7:30 Sunday night. And until I see you again, I send you love from my kitchen.